Well, what do we have here? Yes, Wolf, ROG Strix Scar. There's a 15 and a 17. I have the 15 here, and believe me, stay to the end because these thermals are out of the world. Yeah, liquid metal, baby. Just absolutely nuts. And the Scar is one of my most recommended laptops. It's a no-nonsense gaming laptop, and this thing has everything a gamer wants. Latest 10th generation CPUs. You can have the 10875, so that's 8 cores. Or you can have the i9 8 cores. 10th generation, of course, you have up to RTX 2070 Super. I have that. Get a load of this. Liquid metal out of the factory. 3 M.2 drives, 300Hz display, Wi-Fi 6 gig. So it's the better Wi-Fi 6. RGB, everything a gamer wants. And this thing was already good the last generation, but this 221 is just, with this liquid metal, man, it is just nuts. And I don't even have to benchmark this. I know this is going to be a killer gaming laptop. So we're unboxing it, of course. We're having a first look here, and it is a no-nonsense gaming laptop, alright? Has the classic ROG gaming aesthetic. Inside you do get a 230 watt power brick, and yeah, it can use quite a lot of that. It does actually have 115 watt RTX 2070 Super. And I do like how it's packaged, it's boxed. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments. Do you like the look of this? You know, it has Aura Sync, you know, per key, RGB. I love the underglow. It looks awesome. The display, 300Hz display. That's the only thing I haven't tested yet. We'll see how that display goes, but everything else ticks off. You'll see later with the thermals. Now, this does have this special sort of key thing. And what this key does is it sort of like saves your profiles and stuff. So if you have, you know, the lighting set up a certain way, or you have the thermal set to performance or turbo mode, whatever, you whack your key in, boom. It all comes up for you there. It's a pretty cool thing. What I can say is just feeling that keyboard and trackpad, they're pretty good. It's got the numbered pad in the trackpad as well. You know, 2.57 kilos, so it's not that big and heavy for, you know, the performance you get in this thing. You know, 16 gigabytes of DDR, 3200 megahertz. 3 M.2s, I can't believe it's got 3 of those. And you have no choice, you have to have an 8-core CPU. And it's about 25mm thick, so that's where the performance comes from. You know, it's a little bit thicker, not big and chunky by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, thicker than the thin and lights. And it has liquid metal, so it's got proper cooling. So let's get into the main show here. Wow. I was blown away by the performance of this. Alright, so I whack it in there, get Cinebench, whatever. It's 4200, whatever. You can't undervolt it, unfortunately. If you could, wow. This may be a reason why you want to get the i9, because if you can undervolt that i9, we're going to get some world records here with this thing. That liquid metal, I don't know how they're doing it to apply it at the factory level. That's just amazing, but it works. I mean, I was pumping like 115 watts into this thing, and usually when you pump 115 watts into it, you know, most laptops, they're not going to last long there. They're going to hit 100 or well into the 90s, and just, you know, the good ones will go to about 90, 80 watts. Some of them will have to go down to 70, 60 watts. This thing, 95 degrees, not 100, and still copping 115 watts. What? That just blew me away. And then when I done back-to-back runs of Cinebench, it would go down to PL1. I tried to unlock the power limits, but it will eventually go down. It was doing in the 90s. Alright, so over 90 watts. Most laptops, once they hit that 90 watts, they're doing 90, 100 degrees. This one here went into the 80s. Then I hit the CPU and GPU together. 115 watts on the GPU. The CPU would go down to about 52 watts or something like that. So that's a total of over 165 watts. So 165 total. That's CPU and GPU, not including other stuff. And it was in the 80s. In the 80s, 165 watts. Now most thin and lights, they won't even get to 165 watts. That's at, you know, the higher end, the higher echelon there. This thing can maintain that sort of wattage and be in the 80s. Imagine you could undervolt it. Imagine you've got the i9. There's more performance in this thing. I don't know what's going down to 52 watts, I guess. They don't want to push more than probably 165 watts. It's a 230 watt package. You don't want to be drawing 200 watts, do you? So it could definitely do another 10 watts easily, I think. And if you had an i9, you undervolted it, whew, man. So if this screen checks out, this is a killer laptop. They already were killer laptops, these Scar laptops, but this thing with the liquid metal, the 3 M.2s, you know, the better Wi-Fi, 10th generation super dupers. Ah man, woof. That's just the way we rock, baby. Scarred for life. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Tally ho.